had given those boots up when one evening they came. One by one, I tried them on. In shape and fit, in finish and quality of leather, they were the best he had ever made. I flew downstairs, wrote a check, and posted it at once with my own hand. A week later, passing the little street, I thought I would go in and tell him how splendidly the new boots fitted. But when I came to where his shop had been, his name was gone. I went in very much disturbed. In the shop there was a young man with an English face. Mr. Jessler in? I said. No, sir, he said. No, but we can attend to anything with pleasure. We have taken the shop over. Yes, yes, I said. But Mr. Jessler? Oh, he answered, dead. Dead? But I only received these boots from him last Wednesday week. A week after he had received his order, he passed the little street where Mr. Jessler's shop was located. The author felt like going to the shoemaker and praising his work. However, when he reached the place where his shop was located, he saw that the shoemaker's name was not there anymore. The author was disturbed to see this and went into the shop, scared of what he would find out. In the shop, there was a young Englishman instead of Mr. Jessler. Then the author asked the young man if the shoemaker was in the shop. The young man replied in negative. He then added that he could attend anything with pleasure and he had taken the shop over. The author, however, didn't pay much attention to the comment as he wanted to meet Mr. Jessler. He repeated the question. The young man understood and told the author that he was dead. The author was exclaimed, as he could not believe what he had just heard. He told the man that it wasn't possible for him to be dead as he had received the boots just last Wednesday week. Ah, he said. Poor old man starved himself. Slow starvation, the doctor called it. You see, he went to work in such a way, would keep the shop on, wouldn't have a soul touch his boots except himself. When he got an order, it took him such a time, people won't wait. He lost everybody, and there he would sit, going on and on. I will say that for him, not a man in London made a better boot, but look at the competition. He never advertised, would have the best leather too, and do it all himself. Well, there it is. What would you expect with these ideas? Now the young man started explaining what had happened. He told that the author that Mr. Jessler had starved himself. According to the doctors, the cause of death was slow starvation. It happened because of how he would work. He would keep the shop on but won't let anyone touch the boots except himself. When he would get an order, he would take it too much time to make and deliver them. That is how the shoemaker started losing its customer. People didn't have that much patience. However, the shoemaker wouldn't stop working. The man agreed that Mr. Jessler made the boots perfectly. But the fact that he never advertised made so much competition that he couldn't keep the pace. And he concluded saying that with the ideas the shoemaker had, this was bound to happen. But starvation? That may be a bit flowery, as the saying is, but I know myself he was sitting over his boots day and night to the very last, you see. I used to watch him, never gave himself time to eat, never had a penny in the house, all went in rent and leather. How he lived so long, I don't know. He regularly let his fire go out. He was a character, but he made good boots. Yes, I said, he made good boots. Now the author couldn't still understand how the cause of death was starvation. The man said that the cause might be a bit fancy and over elaborate, but he used to observe his actions from day to night till the last boot Mr. Jessler would make that day. The shoemaker never gave himself time to eat and didn't have a penny in his house. He would spend all his money on rent and leather, but not on food. According to the man, it was surprising to see someone so old live so long without food. And he was someone who had a quite unique character, but he made good boots. And the author also agreed with the young man that Mr. Jessler made the best boots.